What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7, and I have a really cool unboxing for you. This time it's your new Traxxas X-MAXX 8S. Now the box looks very similar to the previous model. It obviously does say 8S and the graphics on the body are slightly different, but I'll show that later on when I compare that to the older model. Okay, so let's go open her up and see what you get. Yeah, but I can already tell that the graphics are different. Thank God I got this big bench. This thing is massive. Controller. There we go. Yep, and the body definitely is a different pattern and in some different colors. It does look very nice. Get this body off. Very nice. I prefer this new body over the old one. The body's the same, but the color scheme looks really cool. Okay, now let's get the boring stuff out of the way, the controller. Now the controller should be exactly the same as the original. Classic TQI, nothing special. It's the same. I don't think you'll see any changes, but nevertheless, there's a controller. I find it very comfortable, very ergonomic, decent range, and for an RTR kit, the controller's excellent. Now in here you have your normal array of instruction manuals, some tools, stickers, and it's also got a 46 tooth metal spur gear, so that should give you higher top speed. Now this is what we want to see. Here is a new and improved 8S Traxxas X-MAXX. Obviously we have the blue version here. It does look very nice. Slight difference in the color, but the body shape and everything else is the same. The same wheels, the same tires. So if you look at it like this and you weren't too keen or not in the know-how, you would think this is a regular X-MAXX, but awesome. And you'll see here, if you notice, it has a wheelie bar now, so that's another clue that it is the upgraded model. Now, like the previous model, it does have the exact same latching mechanism that I really love, and now I'm so used to using this that I get annoyed with the traditional body clips on other style of car. But same body, as you can see, nothing different there, but it does look very nice now with the new graphics or the new paint scheme on the car. I really dig it, and yeah, it looks cool. Now in the center part of the car you'll see the most changes, and it's obviously due to all the electronics that have been changed. So up top here you have a twin motor fan, so obviously with the new speeds that this is capable of, which is about 50 miles an hour or around about 90 kilometers an hour, this motor will get very hot. So the twin motor will help keep this motor cool, and if anything gets a bit too hot, it has a thermal shut off to shut it down in case it does get too hot, which is a good safety feature. Now up next, this VXL 8S, the brand new ESC for this X-MAXX, capable of 30 volts or 8S of power. It still can take 6S batteries as well, so if you have heaps of those lying around, don't worry, you can still use them in this truck. But the main thing about this bad boy is it uses 2 4S to give you max 8S of power. Now hopefully a lot of issues have been ironed out with this ESC, because the original ESC on the X-MAXX previously had a lot of problems, a lot of cases around the world where magic smoke was pouring out of them and there was a big recall. So hopefully that has all been sorted and we won't see any issues with this new one. Now all the other cool stuff is hidden underneath in the drivetrain. One of those is a shock absorbing cush drive borrowed from the XO01, so basically it doesn't have a slipper clutch anymore. The original one does, but this new 8S model doesn't, so that can put up with all that power and torque. You can't see the torque biasing center drive as well, so what that basically is no more diffing out with the front wheels spinning uncontrollably in the air. What the new torque biasing center drive does, it absorbs all the driveline shocks and distributes it to all the wheels, for maximum power transfer. So if one wheel's spinning, it kind of transfers it to where it needs to be, so it's not really losing as much traction as it can and gets off the line much quicker. Now the good thing about the drivetrain, it is high strength steel, so there should be no problems of stripping out or chipping some teeth, so hopefully that's good enough for putting up with all that power the 8S can deliver. Now the drive shafts have been considerably increased in diameter, so to put up with all that power should have no more twisting or braking there, and there's also larger diameter main bearings. It also has larger modular steel ring and pinion gears. Now one of the most important parts, with all that power you need a wheelie bar, so this should definitely help keep that front end down to a reasonable level and not just have them flip over itself all the time and ruining your brand new body. So that is the 8S X-MAXX. Now what I'll do, I'll get the original one and compare it side by side. On the right here you have your 8S body colors, and this is the blue variant. Obviously this is the standard red 6S X-MAXX that you'll get. As you can see, same body, just the colors used are slightly different, but the same actual design. It's just how they've infilled the colors and stuff like that. But just want to give you a comparison of the colors. Obviously that's red though and that's blue, but you know what I mean. So here I have the original X-MAXX, and you can see once I pan over to the updated model, you definitely see the difference in the size of the ESC and the awesome fan that you get on top of the motor there. That's obviously the most striking part that you will see the difference of. Apart from that, they look identical. Now here is the original X-MAXX, and as you can see, they've actually changed these. If I look at the updated model, they do look a bit different, and maybe they're a bit beefier to put up with that power. I'm not too sure, but they do look a little bit different. Now once I've seen the 8S, the 6S model looks pretty Spartan and doesn't look as cool anymore. It does have the same heatsink on the motor, but does not have the dual fan setup. Now on the 8S model, it looks much cooler just from first glance, and it does have different plugs as well. I'm not too sure why, but they'll all fit regardless. You'll see the ESC takes up a huge chunk of the center part of the chassis, and it does have a dual fan motor cooler there, which is cool. I had to replace the one on my original one. Well, I didn't have to replace, I had to actually add one on there because the temps were getting a little bit too hot for my liking. So at least with the new one, you don't really need to. You just got to plug in the batteries, no mods necessary. Now here is the front bumper on both. The left here we have the original, and on the right the 8S model, and they are exactly the same. As you can see, you would not tell the difference from this distance. And also the wheels and tires are identical, so there's no difference there. The big difference is the size of the diameter of the actual drive shaft. So it might not be obvious once I'm using on the camera, but definitely from here I can see a difference. Maybe if I kind of step back and get them side by side, you'll be able to see that the 8S are much or considerably larger. At the back of the trucks is where you see a bit more of a change. You can see most obvious is the wheelie bar here, and they are ball bearings in there, and it will have definitely nice thick drive shafts. While I'm at it, here is the bottom of the trucks 8S model. And the original model, so very similar. It's mainly just all the internals and the electronics that's different. So guys, hope you enjoyed this unboxing and comparison between the new and old 8S X-MAXX. Now, if you want to find out more information about this, please check out the link I'll leave it below. It is available for pre-order and definitely coming soon in the next few months. So that's me, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7 here at Crazy Hobbies. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you around.